Boom! That's how it's done. Whoa! Easy! Surely not all the way around the outside. Oh yeah, we're cooking now. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. This is a roller coaster of emotions. The drivers are pushing their machines to the limit and beyond. Whoa, it doesn't get any better than that. We wait for the lights. The revs build and so does the excitement. And it's drop the clutch and go, go, go! Okay, driver. It's hammer time. This driver is an artist, and the racetrack is their canvas. Did you see that? Did you see that? Wow! Let's watch it again. Ooh, hopefully they'll get away with that one. What a great start, and it looks like we can build on this now and really make a good race of it. There's the fastest lap, folks. No mercy on the menu today. Yeah, sideways is rarely ever faster, but you do get style points. And we roll the safety car dice. Leave them alone. They know what they're doing. Oh no, someone's gone bowling into turn one. What a shocker. Moving left, jinking right, keep them guessing. Lawn mowing as a side gig. And we go down the inside, Danny Rick style. We're on the edge of our seats here, folks. The racers are pushing their limits, risking it all for that coveted first place position and the all-important win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Two cars ahead are fighting with each other. It's slowing them down. And through we go. That driver is a complete and total. A word has not been invented to describe how complete and total they are. But they are one, and a complete and total one at that. And it all comes down to this, the final lap. If you smell what this driver is cooking. Seems like as good a time as any to ask if you've subscribed yet. There's your Grand Slam, pole, fastest lap, and the win! Radio check, radio check. Welcome, race fans, back to Black Flag Racing. My name is Webbo, here to enjoy the racing with you, and very grateful to everybody involved for bringing me back for another racing season. It's the third racing season of the wonderful Black Flag Racing, and it's an all-new look for our fantastic Premier Division as we get underway. We are here today at Watkins Glen for a fabulous circuit to kick off our season. Certainly, we had an awful lot of fun last season out. And I'll just quickly show you on screen how the qualifying is looking for our GT4 drivers. You won't be able to see that, of course, because I've got this all-new timing screen in the way. But you can see in terms of the GT4, Artie is ahead of Archie, Adam, Pola, Kevin, Max, Hunter, Montana, Ivan, Roy Mustang Jr., many Mercedes in the grid at the moment, with Jeff and Matrix out there as well, trying to just put in the last few laps to improve their overall times. And we'll try and find you a car going quickly in order to perhaps see what's going on. Here is Adam taking part. Our champion has departed, Jondola, from the GT4 division, so we bid him farewell on his future endeavours, and we are going to enjoy a whole new host of drivers, and I'm sure that the GT4 drivers breathe a sigh of relief as the departing champion and entirely dominant driver Jondola leaves us. Dog Eater won the GT3 championship as well, the great eater of dogs, and we will hope to see who gets everything ready for this fabulous new season. I'm just seeing the final moments of qualifying here before we get onto the in-between phase when we'll talk through the new drivers and the calendar. But a Porsche GT4 for Adam. Big thank you to Runks, Kyle, and to Grays for their donations so far to allow today's live broadcast to be ad-free. And a big thank you to those drivers who are already tuning in. I hope you've brought in your family and friends as well, because that's how we go racing here at Black Flag Racing. Bring everybody in. Look at this incredible grid of 34 cars waiting to get underway. How on earth am I going to keep track of it all? Well, I will rely on you guys for your help as well, and make sure that you can see the timing page and you can call out any close battles brewing that we can't see, because this is going to take a village, this one, guys. So I hope that you guys are all ready to go today. I'm absolutely hyped for this. Can't wait to get back racing. It has been a long old 4 weeks of off season, so I hope everybody has managed to find enough to do in the off season, and I hope that if you do enjoy motorsport, and this is a fallow period for on-track motorsport, that you subscribe to the channel as well today, and we'll try and keep you entertained. Great to have everybody with us. So many already chatting. A big thank you to everybody who's already bringing their friends and family in. Chloroma, hello to you. To Elite Rain, I've mentioned Grays, but to Marnik and to Rag Racing, and the owner of Desert Rats as well on Automobilista 2, if you're looking for a great racing league to join in with. So hi to Rack, and to Pedro Delamy as well, Delamigo possibly, who's cheering on Rick. So it's brilliant to see everybody, and to Tanner as well. So fantastic that everybody is here and ready to go racing. You can see, hopefully, I'm juggling many screens right now, but let's have a look at the leaderboard in GT3 in terms of outright pace. Tin is the fastest out there, ahead of the 666 Marnik in his fabulous GT3, and Lucas comes in third position so far. Very close though between the top two, just 2 hundredths of a second separating Tin and Marnik, both team captains of their new teams, as the session has indeed finished. And we have Lucas and Aries with Leroy, Tane, Ruben, Cody, Harry and Rick making out your top 10. Following them will be Crit, Keith, Brandon, Nate, SP Nate, followed by NG Nate,
That's not going to get confusing at all, with Sam, Bert, and Mikey out to 18th place. Brian, Arik, formerly known as Ghost Stroke Arik, with Lime, Jeremiah, Artie, Archie, Adam, Hunter, and then obviously into the GT4s. We've got Artie leading the GT4s ahead of Archie, Adam, Hunter, Polar, Ivan, Kevin, Max, Montana, Roy Mustang Jr., Jeff, and Matrix. Angel Angel will hopefully take part, as will Jason, and we'll try and see them in action as soon as possible. But just to give you a permanent leaderboard on the screen at the moment, we'll do our best to keep you informed of everything. The formation lap will be underway in 90 seconds time. It is a full length formation lap, however, so it's going to take us a little bit of time as the drivers get ready then to start their racing. I'll just keep an eye on my screen because the leaderboard is refreshing for that as we go into the look at our calendar for this season. Of course, we start here at Watkins Glen, and as I said, it's an all-new approach to the season here at Black Flag Racing. This is season 3 now, and we're getting serious. We are now weekly at this time every Saturday, so look forward to seeing you all frequently here on the channel and throughout the course of this fabulous season 3 beginning. Looking forward to it, of course, as I'm sure everybody else is here. Kyle says I can't have favorites anymore, so I just hope everyone does well. You hope everybody has fun, perhaps. And this is, I've left a link for this way back in the live chat, but these are our drivers, and we're going to be enjoying new coordinated liveries and livery colour schemes as well, with Brittany Steers Racing, headed by Marnik there in the gunmetal grey and blue, little shock of Petronas turquoise. We've got Rare Metals Racing, who appropriately are in the black, silver and gold, headed by Tin. Kingsman Motorsport are rocking the kind of lighter silver and yellow, headed by Jason, with Apex Critical showing in the grey and green, headed by Crit. Rick is the captain of Snack Pack Racing, black red with shocks of white here and there, and No Grip No Glory are in the fabulous blue, orange and silver colour scheme, headed up by Tane, the 801. So hopefully you are ready for a fabulous season here today, as the drivers are on their way to getting that formation lap ready, and we will just take you through the runners and riders as quickly as we possibly can, because man, it's going to be a bit frantic here getting everybody ready to race. So down in the GT4s, I'll just go through. We've got Artie, followed by Archie, followed by Adam and Hunter in the Mercedes there. Then Polar, Ivan and Kevin. Next to each other at the moment are Max and Montana. Roy Mustang Jr., I think that's the junior of the Mustangs, also not driving a Mustang in the Mercedes AMG, with Jeff and Matrix, with Jason ready in the GT3s. He and Angel or Angel, give me a clue here whether it's Angel or Angel for me, ahead of Polar as well, out there, and didn't qualify. So getting ready then to tackle the bus stop, at least here at Watkins Glen. Look at the marbles they've already kicked up in qualifying session. Tin in the Rare Metals Racing colour scheme. That's going to be super easy for me to call. So thank you to those drivers, but leading the field in the BMW and being hassled and harried out there already in the Lexus by Marnik. Interesting how the Lexus owning teams have to coordinate their liveries around what the Lexus allows drivers to do. Marnik ahead of Lucas and Tane as they go under the trees here into Sector 2 of the Great Watkins Glen in upstate New York, in the United States of America, of course, with Ruben back once again. Not quite with the Renegade Masters, but he's here all the same in the BMW is Ruben, with Tane there in 5th, ready to start the race. We've got Aries hovering around 4th, getting ready to go. So looking good for Rare Metals Racing here. Aries already quick off the mark and qualifying well. There is Leroy, and I hope he doesn't go full Leroy Jenkins on us, but that will also be incredibly fun if we do. Harry ahead of Rick and Crit, with Keith and Brandon back here in the Mustang. Brendon there with the shock of green on black, and Keith in the Lexus. We've got Nate ahead of Nate, although in a it's McLaren Nate, and it's what have we got? We've got Lamborghini Nate. Those are going to be the way to call them. I see all the drivers have changed their names for their awesome teams ahead of Sam and Bert and Mikey, with Brian, Jeremiah, Eric. One of my channel members, actually, Eric, who supports the channel monthly. So you can find a way to do that. Hit the join button if you wish to. With Lime filling out the top qualifying GT3s. This is an incredible field we've got out here for you, and I hope you're ready to watch some great racing as well as we get ourselves ready. They've gone to too wide for the team. There is Kyle just explaining all the rules. I may not be able to absorb all of that completely. Roy Merck Jr. is going to be the new name for him, absolutely. All teams are limited to 5 tyre sets for the race weekend. Fantastic. And each team will comprise 6 drivers in 2 different GT3 cars and a GT4. Claroma is saying, let's go, Dan. So tell me who you're ready to support as we go drop the clutch, and it's go, 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 and green flag at Watkins, Glen, for our 1-hour endurance race, and weaving around the track already as they fight their way into turn 1. You can run very wide out onto the red and yellow curbs out onto turn 1. Let's see if everybody got through cleanly. I think they just about did. It was barely even Stevens at the front as the drivers navigate full throttle through the S's and head up towards that bus stop for the very first time of asking. And it's absolutely jam-packed field as in the GT4s we've got Artie ahead of Ivan, and Archie and Hunter right up there. Look at this melee for the GT4s as some of the GT3s are coming through who didn't manage to qualify, and through into the bus stop we go. There's a little bit of rubbing across the racetrack, and it's there. You've got, I think, the black and green car just getting into the side, and then a bit of a mini spin out there. I think that was possibly a Lexus further back. Let's have a look, because we've had a little spin out into the bus stop. It was Polar actually in the AMG, in the blue and black AMG, but right up at the front it is Tin still ahead of Marnik, who is hassling and harrying him here. Tin defending hard on the way into the toe of the boot. If you imagine the boot shape here on the racetrack, that is what we are looking at as things pertain to the next run. And Tin defending well, and then Marnik has to go fully defensive as they run on through the back of the knee here in towards to finish out this first race. But Marnik's got the undercut. He's got the inside line into the penultimate corner, and they'll go side by side. And there's contact between the leading pair. Will Marnik take advantage of that contact? No, he dips out of the throttle. He doesn't want to take it that way, and fair play to Marnik, because leading the race is Tin, and Marnik has unlocked and opened the door to Lucas, who is going to strive to try and get down onto the brakes. In fact, Lucas a little bit cautious on the brakes as the 44 of Aries tries to take advantage as well. Fabulous racing up here at the front of the GT3 field, and I'll try and give you a good look at the overall standings as they currently are, and hopefully that will hold for you right now. But I need to focus on the action, because it is absolutely anyone's. Tin running 2 wheels into the marbles here, doesn't want to overcommit to the inside, gets himself back to the racing line, but is it too little too late as Marnik tries a very shallow run through here? And it is absolutely fantastic, running to the right hand side of the out of the bus stop through down into the second sector of this Watkins Glen racetrack. And the drivers are absolutely on it, and you couldn't ask for more commitment from them right at this stage. It is the start of a brand new season here at Black Flag, and a new era for our racing teams. And man, these drivers are committed to starting this season well, and you have to say hats off to them. That's the Kingsman Motorsport head by Yeeson here, but the lead driver right now is the number 3 Ruben, who is in the BMW. As the race is being led by a BMW. We've also got Aries in between those two. So 3 BMWs in the top 5 is an amazing start to this race. Let's go down through the field and just check on everybody. I imagine most of the GT3s have made their way through past the GT4s. There are a couple still there in the mix, I can see. Cody's in 7th with Harry in 8th and Crit in 9th. We've got Rick in 10th here with Keith in 11th position as they fight and jostle in towards that final corner. Pit entry on your inside line there. Of course, all the drivers have to make a mandatory pit stop in this 1 hour. We'll get into that a little bit later. They need to concentrate on sprinting right now, but Kevin is in the pits already, I can see, here in the pits with my car sitting there, which won't be used. But Kevin, obviously having suffered a little bit of damage at the early part of the race here at the GT4 car, as Brian is in 19th. Jeremiah is in 20th place with his teammate Angel in 21st, and Artie, who is leading that GT4 field right now in the 22nd place overall. Artie ahead on track of Yeeson, team captain in the Porsche branded Kingsman Motorsport car, and Hunter not far behind him as well. Also teammates here furiously chatting on the radio, trying to make sure that they are coordinating what they're up to. We've got Kevin in the 36th place overall, having now come out of the pit lane, I believe. We've got Max in 25th, ahead of Lime, one of the GT3s who couldn't qualify and is still trying to navigate his way through those GT4 cars. Through the bus stop we go with Adam ahead of Montana, Archie, Ivan with Matrix, Polar and Jeff making out the group here. It looks like Leroy is further back, and it looks also like Roy Mustang Jr. in the 88 still has a great deal of work to do here. An absolute nightmare start for our prodigy. And we'll see exactly how far into the race. But don't forget, Roy Mustang Jr. currently 35th and dead last. And I don't think that's how things are going to stay at all, knowing his quality. But up front, it is Tin. It's ahead of Marnik, the BMW ahead of the Lexus, as they're already lapping the 88 of Roy Mustang Jr. This is not going to help Roy Mustang at all, because he's got so much ground to cover to try and get through. This is, of course, the Brittany Steers Racing team with the blue, black and red wheel rims. Great to have everybody with us. As you say, Kyle, long race, absolutely, as we are looking forward to seeing how they go. So that pit stop situation, the pit window opens at 20 minutes elapsed and closes at 40 minutes elapsed. They must take on at least 1 litre of fuel. They do not have to use tyres. So if they've used a bunch of tyres in practice and qualifying, they can just save 1 set for the race. This is a twisty and technical track, very demanding on tyres. So I think it'll be a brave decision, a brave driver, and a light maneuverable car, maybe something like the McLaren, that would be the most likely to get into that strategy. But the front three, Tin, Marnik, Lucas here, have got themselves well away from the rest of the field, opening out a gap of 6 seconds out to Aries, and we'll have a look at where he is on track. He's just 0.8 of a second, Aries, ahead of Cody, as they run through the right-hander here to finish out of the and head into sector 3. A short sector 3, just 3 turns as the 44 comes through. Aries in that 4th position ahead of Cody and Harry. We've got 2 sets of 3 cars together, and then we'll go back to Rick. Rick with lots of support here on the live stream already. Great to see Rick ahead of Tane, and a very, very busy field back here as well. That's Ruben still in the pit lane. I wonder if Ruben has had to retire. And then we'll see an overtake, will we, as the 80 leaves the door open to the 92. That's Sam ahead of Crit, who gets a great undercut. Crit will get that Porsche fully alongside, but can it keep up on the top speed against the BMW Grunt as we power on through the S's? The Porsche will be vulnerable here, but he is nice and maneuverable and treats its front tyres very gently. He's not worried about the run into the bus stop. Fabulous section there from the 2 drivers to get themselves through, but Crit making the overtake stick and into sector 2 then on this 4th racing lap for this group. Let me know if the leaderboard on the screen is helping or hindering your understanding of the race so far. I can't give you racing laps just yet, but I can keep an eye on what is happening here. I can tell you we've got some tight racing between Tane and the drivers around. Let me try and find Tane for you. Where is he? I just saw his name. There he is. And you can see Tane then just 0.8 of a second away from Keith. And closing in fast. I can tell you also that Harry in 6th place is super close to Cody. And they continue to run through. But Marnik now leads Lucas, and it's Tin who's had a problem. Tin has dropped back from 1st down to 3rd place. Marnik ahead of Lucas and Tin as we wait to see if Harry can make the move here on the way into turn 1. But it's going to be very difficult in the Porsche to make that move because the Mustang is, of course, very, very quick in a straight line. Let's go up to the front of the field then and check out our drivers. Marnik has now found some clear air ahead of the BMW of Tin, who's dropped down to 3rd place. Marnik ahead of Lucas, with Tin further back then. That is going to be the job of Lucas to try and stay with Marnik and not worry too much about Tin in the mirrors. A lot of work to do then for Tin to try and regain that lead to the race. So fabulous run so far. I want to head down towards 17th position. Forgive me, this is the only way I can get through the order of the race at the moment, because we did have some very, very close racing there between Arik and Angel that I could see. But no, not just yet. Let's have a look. Where is Angel at the moment? Here he is in 16th position. I think just running on by past Arik, who's in the other division, of course. So they're the number 7 of Brittany Steers Racing. Angel in 16th position so far, ahead of Jeremiah, teammate, and in the McLaren, as you know. Brian has got a very damaged and scuffed up Porsche there. He's clearly got into some contact with another car behind, from behind. That is a very messed up looking BMW of Rick. So I think we might have found our culprit there. The bonnet or hood might be popping in the BMW. So we'll see if anything comes of that. Roy Mustang Jr., the 33rd position now, has gained 2 positions since we last checked in with Roy Mustang. So very, very cool from him. As Ruben has been into the pits, I think it won't count as his mandatory pit stop because the pit window is not yet open. Ruben is out, and so is Yeeson in 20th position overall. Yeeson in the 201 with some damage visible on the car as well. Lime's in 21st place. We've got Artie leading, I want to say, I think, yes, leading the GT4s by 8.6 seconds. Not really giving Hunter much of a chance here, Artie, to stay with him. So we will have to wait and see if that can work out into a battle. Artie ahead of Hunter by 8.8 seconds, but Hunter only has a half-second gap here between himself in the Mercedes and the Chevrolet of Kevin, who runs out wide, is stretching the racetrack as much as possible. Leroy's not far away as they run in to finish out their 4th racing lap in the GT4s. And it's a slow one for both of them, as it looks like Leroy is going to get underneath both drivers. How on earth is this? Like he had pushed a past there, Leroy, for a moment in the GT3. Gets his way past both of them, but they are very much concerned and worried about each other right now, Hunter and Kevin, as they continue the race. Admin in charge of the servers says Kyle for Hunter there. Absolutely. There's lots of Dutch chat going on. Absolutely have fun in the Dutch chat there. But I won't be able to understand what you're saying, so I can't necessarily take part. Simracer is Tane, says Kyle. Thank you for that. It was a bit of a bad name, honestly. Calling himself that one, Simracer, was a bit difficult when there are many more sim racers on the track. So I'm glad that Tane has changed his name here. Hunter versus Kevin in the GT3s here for P2 in the GT4s for P2 in class. Great to see them fighting so hard and running so well together at this stage. That's NG for him, which is no grip, no glory. Kevin just behind the Kingsman Motorsport driver Hunter, and of course co-owner of the league, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that's a good little defense there going from Hunter on Kevin. Just discouraging the move. You don't want to overcommit to a defensive shape or be too habitual about it, because the driver behind will mark your cards and know exactly what you're about to do next. Okay, back to what else is happening in this great race so far. We've got Max versus Adam. Also another close battle in the GT4s here. Adam behind Max at this stage, and some 6.5 seconds away from Hunter and Kevin for second and third. This is for fourth and fifth in GT4s. With then Marnik coming on to actually catch and lap for, I believe, the second time, possibly, here in the 666. The mark of the beast on Marnik here in P1 in the Lexus, and he'll be very, very much enjoying this for Brittany Steers Racing. I'm going to get that wrong over and over again, but look at the gap he has built out already after making the overtake. Or possibly, and more likely it seems, Tin having a problem early on in the race. We didn't quite see what happened. We can't access replays live, unfortunately, here on ACC on console. We've had to bring in the leaderboard here to try and help you see what's happening. As Going Grey says, Chevy looks strong today in the GT4s. Okay, thank you, Pedro. You're obviously live translating for us, the Dutch there, talking about Rick. We'll go back and have a look at everybody momentarily. But these three great GT3 races have already passed the GT4 cars of Archie, Ivan, both on screen right now, and Jeff. You can see the other GT3s coming on by. There goes Aries in the rare metals, racing BMW, the silver, black and gold, ahead of Cody and Harry. There is Harry in the Porsche with the blue and orange. Obviously, I'm a fan of those that colour combination, but the 44 ahead of the 418 of Cody, but not by very much at all. And it seems like Harry is very much hanging on to this run as we sit on chase view of Cody's car. That is perfect for Aries, just to get a car between him. Little bit of a breather. Able to take his own line here, and that was a little bit of risk there from Cody, but he has to take risks when it comes to passing the GT4s, who are sticking to their racing line as they absolutely should, and everything, but just cutting across the nose there put a lot of faith in Archie from making a mistake. So Kyle saying that Mustang has the ponies today. The Mustang is always a quick car for anybody racing right now, as is the Lexus. They do take a bit of a weight penalty, and definitely in the case of the Mustang, some maneuverability. So on shorter technical tracks, that is going to be a big factor later on in the season, I'm sure. This track, though, very much allowing the drivers to stretch the legs occasionally and get themselves away. I just need to check my messages. I'm hearing that Discord message sound, but it's not anybody from Black Flag, so I will ignore them for now. Where's one sim racer? Says Purple GT. That is Tane. We'll know him as Tane this season, as Nate is in 8th place. I need to know which Nate is which in the my former teammate at Refry Brains on Toast for the Suzuka Endurance round, and which is not. But NG Nate in the Lamborghini here is in P8, with Archie in between him on track in 25th place, leading the GT4s. Here is that one sim racer, as we know him now as Tane, in 9th position, just a little bit ahead of the GT4 pairing Polar and Jeff. So Tane in a good position on the racetrack at the moment, top 10 right now, but plenty still to continue fighting over, and hopefully we will see plenty here. Watkins is so colourful here compared to AMS2, says Rack. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. With its bright blue barriers and its spar colour scheme curbing, it is definitely a unique place. I always find it funny having Go Bowling written on a racetrack after after what often happens into turn 1. Polar in the 26th place overall. In 2nd, I believe that makes him in GT4s. We've got Sam in 10th in the black and red BMW here, with Jeff just being lapped at this time. You've got Jeff in the Chevrolet, the taller of the two cars on that are passing each other on screen here. It tucks down low towards the pit lane entry there, just to get out of the way of Bert and Angel. Mikey, the next one, will be on his way. There's always a driver who goes for the 69, and this time it's Ivan. He's had to come into the pits with 1 minute 34 before the pit pit stop window. That is deeply, deeply unfortunate for him, because that will take a big penalty in terms of extra additional damage, and you've got the all the travel time in the pit lane to add on to what will then be your mandatory pit stop. So if at all possible, the drivers will hang on with damage, because sometimes you are driving with the wheel almost at 180 degrees to what it should be. So sometimes it is so slow and so difficult. You have no other option. I don't know if this Nate, SP Nate, is Nate Aguilar, because he does favour the McLaren generally, but whether he has changed racing seat, I don't know for sure. Into the bus stop we go. Nate ahead of Brian right now at the 17th and 18th position. That was one driver just trying to avoid all the drama being passed now. I think was that Rick? No, that's just a whole lot of trouble for everybody concerned here. Jeremiah in the McLaren, and then we have a little tap there, just trying to cut off the nose, and just as he's collecting it, unfortunately, that looked like Jeremiah in a world of trouble through the bus stop, and it just turned one thing into another. He's trying to turn this car around. It's a little bit of an Austin Powers situation, if that doesn't date me too much, but Jeremiah then down to 18th place, trying to recover his race, but unfortunately making contact with two cars after first losing it by himself in the bus stop. The 41 is down into 18th position. Matrix then in the GT4. There you go. Pit window is now open as we go into the 40 minutes to go at the top of your screen. You can see 40 minutes to go. Leroy in 29th overall in Rare Metal Racing. And just getting by Matrix, and then we'll see Lime in 19th place. These are on their relative positions on the track, of course, so there's almost a lap between 29th and 19th place right now. Yeeson recovering from a lack of qualifying up to 20th, ahead of then Marnik. So Yeeson managing to stay on the lead lap in the 201, but not for long, I don't imagine, as the 666 is on his way, I'm sure. SP Nate is a totally different Nate. Long livery, 5 beans on toast, says going great. So has Nate Aguilar actually stayed with us, or has he moved on to F1 and left ACC alone? Is the NG Nate Aguilar? Please let me know. I should have asked him beforehand, because well, I shouldn't be too worried about where my former teammates are, but it's hard not to, isn't it? The 666 though, Marnik here, really opening a great lead out to what is now Tin in second place. Lucas has dropped back, so Tin has recovered back to second. Tin for Rare Metals Racing. The irony of that is somewhat interesting to me. But Tin being the captain of Rare Metals, Tin being a very everyday metal in P2, and then you've got Lucas not far away either from Tin in the Mercedes there. So Marnik, Tin, Lucas now separated in total by 7.6 seconds out at the front. I got the joke, says Kyle. Oh, good. I'm glad. But then we've got Archie leading the GT4 field in the 846 Porsche, currently doing a fabulous job. I might be wrong on that one. No, I am wrong. In fact, yes, I believe it's actually Polar. Where else? Where is everybody? Jeff is in 25th place. So in terms of the GT4 field, I might just have to quickly bring this up here. So yeah, we can see then the little blue triangle on the name. Artie leads Hunter, leads Max in the GT4 field. So that's good to see. Hopefully the overlay didn't get too much in the way there, but you get what I'm saying. As lots of drivers are into the pit lane very early, just trying to get that out the way, finding a good window in the track to come out. But unfortunately for them, 4 drivers are coming out all together on the track, and only one of them is a GT4, and that's Adam for the SP team there of Snack Pack Racing, of course. Adam just ahead as the drive-through has been given to Jason. Now, what is that all about? I wonder if that is speeding in the pit lane for that drive-through penalty for Jason. A drive-through, unfortunately, for the 24. Not the best way to start your season as captain of Kingsman Motorsport there for Jason, unfortunately, as he is just behind Lime on track. Lime on old tyres. Drivers will probably not have not be adding a huge amount of fuel. They may decide to just refuel with 1 litre. They may decide, if their car suits it, to run light. The mid-engine cars tend to run better on lighter fuel than the front-engine rear-wheel drive cars, or the rear-wheel drive rear-engine rear-wheel drive cars whose fuel tanks are at the opposite end of their drivetrain, because that can often balance out the car somewhat. So Yeason, the first one with a penalty on the track as Marnik comes to close in on them. Yeason then still waiting to serve. He'll be getting a blue flag right now. The drivers are not mandated, especially in this period of the race, to get out of the way, but it's up to them. And actually their lives are made a lot easier if they do get out of the way of the leaders coming through. We had a little discussion towards the end of last season as to whether in the final 10 minutes blue flag should mean move aside, especially for the leaders or for close racing and you are not yourself in a battle. I don't know if there's been an update to the rules. Please, Grays or Kyle, let me know. As Marnik's scything through the field once again. He has yet to make his pit stop. It says number 1, and it's an ambery orange colour next to the 666 there on the bottom left of your screen. That means he still has yet to serve his pit stop. Tin is in a similar position and passing by Adam through the S's. Great to see. A little flash of lights there from Adam. I wonder if that was inadvertent, but it's an unusual one. But sometimes the GT4s might feel that they are not being treated with quite the respect they deserve against the GT3s. It takes a certain type of mentality, a certain amount of patience to drive a GT4 and be subject to cars passing you at will, especially on the straightaways, and into and out of corners can be really quite a tricky thing. You're putting yourself very much in harm's way if you are a GT4 driver. The 907 of Arik is in 34th place overall. I think he had been hoping for a little bit better at this stage of the race, but the good news for him is it probably can't get any worse for the remaining rounds of our 10 race season. I think we're still on 4 drop scores here at the racing, so it's nice to see Ot Yelegamag here with us as well. Nice to see you all. Kyle says GT4 is superior, and I'll die on that hill. Nate, so NG Nate is Nate, my previous teammate. Thank you so much. So no great, no glory. The 189, of course, I should have remembered his 189 number there. So yeah, dial 189 for Nate Aguilar. We have Arik ahead of Polar and Lime on track at the moment, as we'll just have a quick look for some close racing throughout the rest of the field. I will just check my live timing screen to try and help me out with that one in terms of the gap. Unfortunately, live timing only tells me the lap number, so it's not quite as useful as I'd like it to be. I'm going to move this all the way down to the bottom for a few minutes so you can see the entire field. Well, down to Keith anyway, I think. But that's the tail end of the field on your live time. We've got a stop go there for somebody. Let's check out who that is. It's Harry for No Grip No Glory. There, Harry has a stop go. That is often for ignoring the pit lane. No, that's track limits. So a drive through is usually a stop go penalty is given for 6 track limit infractions, or for speeding in the pit lane. Drive through is given for 3 track limit warning, passing your 3rd track limit warning there. So very interesting to have everybody racing hard here today. Tin is back in 4th place, having made his pit stop. Here he is in Rare Metals colours in the BMW. Everyone's been talking some good game in the pre-season here, but the talking stops now, and we start the driving. And round the outside, that is a tricky one for Tin, but he dealt with that very nicely, putting himself way out wide and onto the slippery marbles out there, as Keith in the Lexus in the 35th position right now and dead last has yet to pit as well, so hasn't even made his pit stop. Keith has been struggling today, I think you have to say, but he'll be trying to get plenty of practice in here, learning what the car does over the course of an hour and hoping to pick up places as we get into the deep end of our hours racing. We're almost at the halfway point, as many drivers have made their pit stops, but not everybody has gone for their pit stops. You can still see Harry here in the Porsche and Nate in front of him in the Lamborghini now in the 189. Nate yet to pit, and he's put himself into second place. That would have been a good opportunity to pit with those 4 cars in front of him that are not anywhere near his pace at the moment. He's got 4 cars to lap on this lap, and the car behind him, Harry, has pitted. That's going to be fascinating actually to watch Nate versus Harry through the pit stop sequence. Has Nate cost himself a potential place here? Because look at the traffic for Nate. This is really problematic now. He'll be hoping to slide by these drivers, but of course he is a GT3 and most other of these cars are GT3s. He'll try and follow the BMW in front of the Kingsman Motorsport BMW there, try and slide in alongside the Mercedes, but he couldn't find his way through, unfortunately. So let's join him on board as we have the multi-mirror view as well. Let's try and get a bit brave here, Nate, and go round the outside, deal with this traffic and get on by. But this is costing him multiple seconds. What does this lap look like? It's 3.5 seconds down off his best time. Now his tyres will be at their absolute worst as he hops the curb. It's a dangerous curb out there on the exit of the ankle section on leading towards the toe of the boot, and Nate almost losing it on that curb as it joins back onto the asphalt. There is the halfway warning from our onboard engineer, and Nate is 4.5 seconds down on his best time, and that could well be very, very costly as we go to track his main rival here. Who was it again? Well, Tin is in net third at the moment, and we will see how he makes his way through. Tin has made his pit stop, so I haven't yet seen P1 whether he's in or not. We'll go back up to the top of the live standings and give you what we can here. So Marnik's still leading, has not made a pit stop as far as my information is concerned. The 666, look out for him. And in fact, the 666 is in the pits right now. There he is in the Emil Frey blue and Swiss flag Lexus. He's made his pit stop. Here comes Marnik on his way out of the pit lane, and he won't be far away from Tin. In fact, Tin has passed him as far as I'm aware. So Marnik definitely taking tyres and fuel. He has been passed by Tin. They've got SP's Nate in between them. No, they've gone through. So Marnik's gap to Tin, he's lost 5 seconds to Tin. Overall, Tin back into the net lead of this race as Nate Aguilar for No Grip, No Glory leads our race on this 17th lap. Fabulous turn of events here. So Marnik with the pace outright. Whether he made a definite and definitive pass on Tin or Tin made an error, we will never know. But Marnik wasn't aggressively looking to overtake in the first few laps of the race. He's now got to catch by 4.5 seconds rival Tin and rival captain as well there. Marnik on his way now in the Lexus in P3, 4.4 seconds away from P2 and the net lead of this race. Where is the 189 of our outright leader? That is Nate. Here he is. We'll wait to see if Nate goes into the pits on this lap. The time is running out in a big way. No, he's going too fast through there to hook into the pit lane. So he's running this as deep as possible, I think, Nate, and trying to recover that lost time. And then you can see, look, on the top left of, well, I can see, excuse me, on the top left of my screen, he is actually faster than his best time. So the car is running light. That to me would indicate that despite the worn tyres, Nate is on a hot lap right now, trying to make up for that really difficult lap behind those 4 slower cars, as his main rival was getting ready to take his pit stop at the time. So Nate P1 has not pitted ahead of Tin, Marnik and Mikey. Where now is Lucas? I think we may have actually lost Lucas at some point. I'm going to just scroll through the run here to see if Lucas has gone. Lucas is down in 25th position, unfortunately. So things not going well for him down there. in the bottom end of the field, as Montana is reading as dead last in 36th place overall for me on my live timing anyway. So we will try and keep track of everything as Nate is there. We've got Matrix in 31st position, just ahead of Nate on track, and moving up forward of the racetrack. We've got Angel in 13th, Arik 30th overall, just getting out of the way. Arik in the Lamborghini, allowing Angel to go through. Angel is chasing down Rick there, 2.5 seconds. Rick, big favourite among the fans there, as well as Claroma is cheering on Rick. He's in P12 and putting in some good laps at this stage. He's currently up on his best, but as he runs through, that is he loses out a little bit of time. Rick's gap to Sam in 10th place is 11.7 seconds. Here is Sam in the red-black BMW. Sam himself to Cody is a 7.3 second gap, and Cody just dealing with Max in the GT4s at this stage. And then we've got Crit a further 7 seconds up the road with formerly known as that one Simracer Tane in 7th place in the Lamborghini. So there he is, Tane P7 ahead of Crit, just 0.4 of a second, as we'll maybe follow these two for a few minutes, get you a nice new POV, and you can just have a little listen to this Porsche. I love the sound of the Porsche in ACC, gotta say. Apologies if it's quite loud, but on board this thing is glorious. Best sounding car, says Kyle in ACC. I think it's the best sounding car in sim racing. Quite frankly, I don't think anybody has captured it as well as they have in ACC. It's fabulous. Look at this great run actually from Crit right now. This is the helmet view, my favourite, but it's an acquired taste. Not many people actually like that view. And then out to the chase view. Let's watch on board then with Crit here, challenging the 801 of Tane. He's not able to get the slipstream. He'll get himself alongside here. It's a game of dare as to go who wants to go into the bus stop. But Crit with the better racing line. Tane dealing with that incredibly well. And you've got Jeremiah in the mix in 17th place, just ahead in the Brittany Steers Racing McLaren, just ahead of that group as well, where they go through. Purple says, where's my boys Crit and Runks? Well, Crit we're on board with right now. So I don't know if you're only keeping half an eye on the race right now, but we'll check in. Runks, I think, is in the chat. I don't think Runks is racing. I want to make sure, but yeah. And Pedro saying the Porsche sounds nice. Did 24 hours on iRacing with the Porsche, but that sound can't be beaten. Pure symphony. Yeah, you're not wrong, and you must be. Runks is racing. Give me his. That's Jeremiah. Thank you. Sorry about that. In fact, your two boys are pretty close on track right now. There you can see Jeremiah just ahead in the 41. I've got to learn everybody's also known as names, and some people have got 3 or 4 names they go by. So thanks, Purple. As he's just behind. So you've got them all on track at the moment as Crit gets another great run. Let's see if he can take advantage this time of the speed. I don't think he'll be trying to get Jeremiah on the line. I think the drivers will be in specific chats. In fact, I can check that up right now. Real names this season, says Kyle. Now we're definitely going into the pro era of Black Flag racing. I love it. But it doesn't help me when I got to know them all in different names, does it? But just keep an eye. Have we got race chats on? Well, I can't see all the voice chats, so we'll have to note. Gray's saying it's going to make me a gamer tag name cheat sheet. Thank you so much. It is helpful if I have that info, but yeah, generally I just have to learn, and we've got a lot of newcomers as well, and I generally have to call people by what I see them on the screen for the viewers knowledge as well, just so we all know what we're looking at and talking about. Crit with a good run, but Tane holding on at this stage in that P6. Jeremiah in 17th, Ivan ahead of him in that 34th place. Ivan just allowing him through, I think. That's Jeremiah coming through across on the marbles in the McLaren as the slightly taller but shorter GT4 Mercedes almost gets the turn into the corner, and then it's a little bit busy there for Tane and Crit coming through, so that could get a little bit spicy on the way in. Hopefully he'll get out of the way of his teammate. It's great to have these team colours as well this season, nice and coordinated for your commentator. It does make life a little bit easier. Purple says, Claps, where's Claps? Give me his real name, please. or his race number, but I haven't seen Claps yet. So that's difficult for me as he gets tucked up underneath the McLaren. Could this be the moment for that Porsche? Well, again, Tane holding firm on the middle of the road, not overcommitting, which you love to see. The Porsche, though, getting a really good run. I think this will be it. I think it just didn't quite work out there. Lost a little bit of the front axle on the way through turn one. But no, they're side by side as the Porsche seems to be losing a little bit of speed. And then he had a choice between contact with the barrier or lifting, and he chose the sensible option. Did Crit in the 92. But that will make him start to feel a little bit hot under the collar, a little bit bothered about that. That might have felt a little bit strong on the defence, but clearly Tane felt he was sufficiently far ahead to make the move and hold on to the position. Now they're dealing with this GT4 traffic, getting by Jeff as Jeremiah goes right round the outside. Jeremiah has now been caught in a big way, and I wonder how he will treat other drivers while he's been getting that blue flag. You can see RNX on his windshield. Pit window is over. Hopefully everybody's marker next to their race number is now green. We'll have a look in a minute, but I'm kind of expecting this one to start lighting up because we've got lots and lots of drivers very close together. But P7 versus P6, a nice tight battle at this stage. Let's have a quick check of the gaps here. 1.5 seconds now. Marnika's retaken tin. I can give you news from the front here. Marnika's caught and passed tin as we wait to see if this one will actually happen or not. I think he's got a little bit of dirt on the tyres there on the apex, has Crit. So let's try and go look for our race leader. Harry is in 5th. Brandon is in 4th. In 3rd place is Nate in the 189. So did manage to get himself into a good position there after all. In 2nd place is is Tin, excuse me. And Marnik has got by Tin and has extended his lead to 2.7 seconds. So that didn't take long on his fresh, I would imagine, fresh tyres there for Marnik. Look at the pace difference between Marnik and Tin at this stage of the race. So Kyle's saying, Tane and Crit are friends. So please show me Rick. I need to see my friends, says Chloroma. Okay, no problem. We'll do our best. There's a very big field. Oh, is that Tin in the wall? Well, it looked like Tim was in the wall. I wonder if he's just picked up a little bit of damage there. There we have Marnik then. Let's have a look then. Here is Rick in P13 in the BMW, kind of on his own, and as he has been a lot of this race, in fact, says Chloroma. That's nicely. I will get there, don't you worry. I will do my best for you. The 215 is Rick. Ivan has a drive-through in the 34th position in the 69 car. Rick has a 3.7 second challenge here to try and overtake Mikey and get himself into 12th place. So that is going to be an interesting one. Sam and Angel continue their race-long battle here. 0.7 of a second only between the BMW Sam for SP for the SP team, Snack Pack, and Brittany Steers Angel just ahead. I still haven't had word whether it's Angel or Angel, so let me know. Is that a Spanish pronunciation or not? And a very bashed up Porsche there is Archie in the Snack Pack. You can just see him here. Look at this. What a mess, unfortunately, for Archie. And he tries to get into the apex, and that's tricky then with Sam coming by. There you can see, trying to make the right moves here, but it's not easy at all to get by everybody safely. Sam is in 11th, as I mentioned. Jeff's in 33rd overall. And a quick look at the GT4 field. This is the best way I've got of viewing the GT4 field. Artie is the leader of the GT4s. In fact, let me turn off the overall leaderboard there, so you can see Artie leads the GT4 field. He's actually ahead of Yason, in P19 overall. Yason, one of the GT3 drivers, so he'll love it if Artie can finish ahead of a GT3 car, with Adam, Max next up. After that, Polar and Hunter's dropped back considerably. Hunter was in second place, I think, earlier on. Then we've got Archie and Matrix with Roy Mustang, who has moved his way up from 36th position. We've lost a couple drivers to 30th overall, and is ahead of 3 other cars in his class. So congratulations to him so far. He's really putting in the work. Is Mustang Junior, as you should expect at this stage. Mikey and Sam, we can just see on track there. We've got Ruben and the Rare Metal. Sorry, this is actually, I think, is this Kingsman, the Kingsman team. This is Kingsman Motorsport with just these small hints of gold and mostly kind of very light grey or white colours. Lime and Ruben in the BMWs locked together here. They won't be fighting too hard, I don't imagine, this stage. And we've got Bert in 9th place. We've got Hunter just watching a great battle right now, actually. Hunter here, you can see just ahead. We'll just move one ahead here because this is Cody trying to move past 32nd placed Keith. Cody will go down the inside here. Hopefully Keith won't fight that too hard. And he's got Jeremiah in 16th overall just behind him. Jeremiah showing well. I believe he was hoping for a really good season this time out. So let's putting in the work as well, as we expect our drivers to do. Crit still close here with, well, he's got Tane ahead, but Crit is just getting by these GT4s, so it's very, very busy right now. Let's go a little bit wider for you. A little bit of argy-bargy going on between the 41 and the 418, and the 88 has actually spun. That's Roy Mustang, unfortunately. Oh, and it's all happening. Confusion down the sole of the boot as there's plenty of damage for everybody. Oh, that's an unsafe rejoin, and it is an absolute horror show here towards the end of the race. And so often on ACC 1-hour races we get this situation occurring where drivers tend to lose their heads. The grip is going, the dynamics of the car is changing, and they are getting tired and losing focus. And you have to say that that could be a cause of the problem there, as lots of drivers were all over the place. But it was all, as far as I could see, triggered by the 88 going round after passing the toe of the boot corner. And I would imagine Cody is driving at least one hand down on the steering wheel. And yeah, heading on into the pit lane. This is going to change the face of the midfield at this stage. And he needs to be careful not to cross that line. It's very difficult on the way into the pit road. And he actually tags the wall. I don't know if he's trying to knock the steering straight before he gets into the pits. But a lot of damage to be repaired at this stage. That's one of the worst looking Mustangs I've ever seen in ACC. So you can see Mustang, I'm not sure if he lost it on his own or it was aggressive overtakes from other drivers. Here is Tin, though, profiting a little bit from that, at least seeing a clear track ahead of him. Tin ahead of Jeff on track, and SP Nates in 17th place further back, as the drivers are really going through it here at the moment. As Nismo says, seriously, guys, this is Premier. We've really had a very, very good clean race to this point. So I definitely agree we wouldn't want to see that, and the rejoins and everything. But yeah, that was tough. Damage on Tin's front, says Kyle. Good spot. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to be wary that hood doesn't pop up and block most of your view. They are generally. Basketball says it's been clean on stream. It has not been clean on track. Okay, well, it sounds like there's going to be some incident reports post-race then from you. I won't ask you for specifics or any blame at this stage. We don't want to get into that. Marnik is running faster than he has run before, and he's already got a purple lap. I can see on my screen anyway. So he is currently a tenth and a half faster than the fastest, and his fastest lap and this race is 26 laps old for Marnik out front. I have had the pleasure of running with Marnik on occasion, and he is frighteningly fast, even in casual races. So it's no surprise to me to see Marnik dominating this race to this extent. I have to say, he really is showing himself to be formidable at this early stage of the Premier season. So his gap at the moment, let me just check in with that one. It's 9.9 seconds ahead of Tin. That's a big gap for this stage of the race. So Basketball saying he can't say who it was because his replay didn't save, and that happens so frequently. Unfortunately, Basketball, tell me your name as in game if you don't mind. Oh, it's a big slide from Rick. Sorry, excuse me, from I want to say Mikey there. Let's have a look. Who was running in the AMG? We'll just. I'm sorry about this. We do have really difficult run. I think it was Hunter actually with a very stylish looking slide across the apex there, the 22. So looking good. There is Tin in second place with the damaged BMW. He's quite some distance now from the car behind. So I think he's nailed on. That curb is going to catch somebody out towards the end of this race. It feels like it's certainly almost caught Nate out earlier. And as Kyle said, yeah, IR is the place to post the incidents. So we will see. As Kyle says, yeah, it was Hunter that slid around like that in the 22. So hats off to Hunter for saving that one. That was more than tricky out there. So well done to him. This is Hunter. This is the GT4 field at the moment. I'll just turn off that extra screen. You can see Artie in 18th place, actually now ahead of Bert and Lucas, with Adam in second in class. Polar is third, Max is fourth, and Hunter is fifth in the GT4 field. So there's been plenty of changing fortunes in the GT4 field there for you. So yeah, lots going on. Ruben's in the pit lane. We've got Max here in 23rd place. And Marnik continues to lead. Marnik's got a lot of work to do to pass these drivers before the end of the race. Look at this. That is an uncomfortable position for your race leader to be in at the end of the race. You just want a smooth run to the flag here, but dealing with the first two cars very neatly. Thankfully for him, most of them are GT4s, and that is an utter nightmare as Matrix gets it wrong towards the end of the bus stop. And yeah, that will be a definite clench moment there, I think, for Marnik on the way out of the bus stop. We've got another GT4, that's Sam going very wide. And then the first of the GT3s that Marnik will pass here in these final few minutes ahead of him, that's Sam in P10. Sam also then not far from Mikey, and these two fighting over position. So Marnik will have to have his wits about him and make sure that he gets this one nice and smooth and takes his time. He's got a big gap behind us, Marnik. He doesn't need to take huge risks, and that will definitely help, I'm sure. So as he peels in towards the back of the knee, if we're stretching the boot analogy to its absolute limit, and in towards the penultimate corner goes Marnik. Blue flag is flying. And this is the point in the race where, for me, I feel like you need to be extra aware if you're being passed. Because if you stuff up someone's race in the final few minutes, the final 10 minutes, for me, it feels like there is no time for them to correct that or try to resurrect their race. So, but no problems for Marnik. He's still got Mikey and I think Jeremiah within sight here before the end of the race, but not much left to do for Marnik now. But stroke it home, look after the car, look after the tyres, and do his absolute best. Lots of fighting going on here. This is Polar with a drive-through in the 999. Polar's gone for the maximum as Matrix tags the barrier, I think, there in the Chevrolet on the way through the S's. That might be just a moment of inattention. It could be a bit of dirty air, but quite often the drivers use the run between turn 1 and the bus stop to adjust the wheel or check on their HUD before they've come out of the S's. And you can, as Kyle says, drivers getting tired and starting to really fatigue now. Polar, that can't be a first name, Polar. So definitely bucking the trend. Neither can Tin really, but it's okay. It's better than you know, sausage fingers 44 as we often get with gamer tags. So making no complaints. This is much easier to follow for me. That's Adam just ahead. We've got Jeremiah there in the number 41, and he's right hot on the heels of Tin. I wonder if Tin is slow right now with that damage. Jeremiah also has a bit of damage on the front of the car, but I'm pretty sure that Tin didn't take tyres, and he is being very careful towards the end of the race. Jeremiah in a difficult position now because he won't get blue flags. Tin won't be given blue flags because he's ahead of him and a lap up at least. But it's possible Jeremiah is the quicker of the two cars at the moment, especially if Tin is just taking his time here. We've got a pit stop underway. That's Lime in the pits. Looks like some damage being repaired. Lots of frenetic activity towards the end of this race. There's Polar in the 999 serving his drive-through. It would be disqualification, I think, if he didn't serve it before the end of the race. And he's in the pit lane right now. But look at this. It's great to see so many drivers together on the grid at the end of the race and running really well. This is Kevin in 29th. He's got Adam ahead of him. He's got Nate just behind him. That's Nate in the 711. Love that race number. I've got to say, Nate. I've not commentated over a 711 before, but that's awesome, Nate. Oh, hold on. Wow, that was very tricky. He probably won't thank me for watching that moment as Kevin gets down the inside. Almost gets a love tap in the rear for his troubles there, cutting across the Chevy. Kevin then has Nate behind him, but Aries was in a hurry for sure to take advantage of Nate getting off on the grass. Nate a little bit less aggressive at this point than perhaps he needs to be. Needs to get by this GT4, and Adam has got a little gap now to Kevin. Aries gets by. You can see in the in the 12th place, number 44, and Rick ahead of him. As Rick, once again, not really fighting for anything, but he is putting in a fastest time for himself just before I said that, and then suddenly he's struggled through the back of the knee at this point. Tin is German, I believe, says Kyle. So Tin, possibly. Yes. There we go. Chloroma. Before you've even said it, I could read your mind. I could feel the vibes coming. And I can see that you're about to ask me for Rick, but I'm going to leave Rick alone for now because he's on his own. But just be comfortable in the fact that he's a-okay at this stage, and P11, and not a bad debut at all for him. So running through to just find the rest of our drivers there, you can see Tin in second place, big gap, 10.6 seconds now to Marnik, who's had a lot of cars to pass as we reach the end of our racing hour. I'm just going to do a last quick check of the GT4 field. Here they are. You've got Artie in first place and Adam just 3.3 seconds away. Artie can't relax just yet. Excuse me, that's absolutely wrong. In fact, Artie in 20th is just 1/10 of a second away. That's total time. I'm just waiting for my gap to show up. But yeah, I think we might need to go have a check-in on Artie. And other drivers. Angel getting by Ivan. Tane in front of him on track with Crit there as well. 1.3 seconds. Great battle. 6th, 7th and 8th place on your screen right now. And fighting to the finish. I just want to try and find that other gap. Let's see if Angel goes for a move here because he's closing in on Tane very quickly. Tane going to the middle of the road as we saw him do earlier. Crit has managed to get by. We've got a car coming out of the pits as well and out onto the exit curb. So it looks like Tane doing his fabulous job there at hanging on. Harry up there, very well placed as well. But Artie has been passed. No, Artie's okay. It's Archie who has gone past him, or is up just ahead of him here. 1.3 seconds ahead on track. Artie's a-okay at the moment in P1 in his class of the GT4s, and 20th overall is an absolutely incredible job there from him. It's going great. Says you need to donate more for Rick views. Okay, yes. Use the super chat, and we'll try and set up a Rick mini stream in the bottom right corner. Maybe try and get his stream on my stream over the top, and you can watch him all day long. Jeff in 30th, also putting in a good lap at the moment. What are we? Nearly half a second up on his very best time at this stage for Jeff there in 30th place. Just putting in the practice, getting an extended test session going right now. Jeff in the Chevrolet, 30th overall as I mentioned, but that car looking very nice out there, I have to say. Bert's in 19th. I'm going to go through, see if I can't find our fastest driver and outright leader at the moment. Brendon, we haven't talked about Brendon enough in the 420. Again, another driver who's chosen a fabulous race number. I thought 420 was banned, actually, but Brendon's there in P4 overall. That's a great performance from Brendon. So well done to him. If he can hang on here, that will represent a really, really strong finish for him. We have Lucas in 18th place. We've got Hunter there in 24th. The leader has started his final lap, and we will find him momentarily. Very pleased to see Nate here in the 189 getting a run at a provisional podium. He was perennially P8, was Nate, last season. Look at this for him, passing two AMG Mercedes, who are line astern here, Matrix and Cody, in the GT4 field. They're not actually together in the order. That's Matrix just letting everybody by, but that was great to see for Nate there in P3. So congrats to him. As we go back up the field, we've got Tin in P2, and Marnik is a decent distance away. In fact, I can't even see how far away Marnik is from Tin at this stage, but he's heading on into the ankle of the boot at the moment. As Cloroma says, he's really enjoyed it. Good. Well, wait till the end. You don't want to... the show's not over until the checkered flag is taken by all drivers. But I appreciate you for stopping by and for going through all the effort on the chat. Remember that the thanks button is there for tips or the super chat while we're live. But I'm very grateful to everybody for the support. We're coming in towards the end here. The fastest lap overall has been driven by Marnik, a 1:43.9. He's circulating around 1.5 seconds slower than that at this stage, in towards the penultimate corner. And you've got I think that's the 224 there of Archie, who's going to save himself a lap as Marnik comes through. Everything can breathe easily now as the checkered flag will wave, and Marnik will win the season opener here at Watkins Glen, and a fabulous race from him. So congratulations to Marnik as the rest of the drivers slowly start to take the checkered flag. Ruben is locked in the pit lane. I think Mikey's gone through in 9th place. I'm looking out for Tin to see him cross the line. Here is Tin, and I think he'll be happy, but he did get the pole position and was leading the race earlier on, so that will be the one that got away for Tin. I'd be surprised if he is thoroughly satisfied with that race. But Tin overall in P2, and he stops right in front of Marnik, and they stare each other dead in the eye for the finish of the race. Lots of drivers crossing the line right now, and you can see on your grid, but we can see everybody on the finish line. We've got Marnik ahead of Tin, ahead of Nate, who scores what I think is possibly his first Premier Division podium. He scored a podium with me for Team Refried Beans on Toast in the Endurance at Suzuka last year. But Brendon is in 4th, Harry's in 5th, Angel is in 6th place, and then you've got Crit in 7th. Those two drivers had a fabulous run together towards the end of, throughout the whole race. Tane home in 8th, Mikey in 9th, and Sam in 10th place. Rick is in 11th, Aries in 12th, Brian in 13th place, Jeremiah coming home 14th, with Nate in 15th place for Snack Pack Racing. Then we've got Jason in 16th. He's had a roller coaster race, but brought it home really well in 16th place. Lucas in 17th, Cody in 18th, ahead of Bert and Artie. Artie home first in the GT4s. Let's just check in on those GT4 cars. I'll make sure I get you what you want to see for the GT4s. I'll turn off the main timing screen now. You know where to find it if you want to. Artie in P1 in class ahead of Adam and Max, with Polar home in 4th in class out there as well. We'll try and get you try and get you the overall scores here. There you can see. So where was I? Jeremiah in 14th, Nate ahead of Yeasing, Lucas, Cody, Burt, Artie, just in front of Arik there, finishing Arik in 20th in class in the GT3s. Adam Max Hunter, Polar Keith Archie, Keith out of sync there in the Lexus GT3. Archie and Kevin finishing in that order ahead of Matrix and Jeff. Ivan in 31st with Roy Mustang Jr. A problematic race for him, but still getting home classified in 32nd. He was dead last at the start of the race, so a couple of big accidents from Roy Mustang Jr. But keeping driving, and you have to say congrats to him. Then we've got drivers way out of position. You've got Lime, Rubin, Leroy, and Montana finishing out the 36 drivers who took part of our fabulous season opener. I'm really glad to be back. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Just to confirm our positions, can I? Yes, I can. GT4. That is your finishing positions for the GT4s, and then we've got the AM drivers and the silvers. Roy Mustang, the only silver mark driver among everybody, so hard to see. Oh, that was those are the GT3s. So we'll just check in on the all and go to silver. That's just me and him. So everybody else marked as AM. GT4 grid there on your screen for a well-fought race, but Artie, it was never really in doubt for Artie. In fact, finishing a lap on over Adam. So we need more drivers to challenge what is seemingly another dominant session there. But congratulations to Marnik and to Artie for the wins today. Hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And folks, we will see you at the same time here next week. If you can't wait for more racing action, I'm live tomorrow, roughly a similar time for the start of the Deviant Racing GT3 and GT4 World Challenge races. So subscribe and we'll see you then. I'll get that pending race up on the stream soon, but make sure we catch you and you come back here next week. We will catch you for round 2 of the championship. See you soon, and thanks again.